Hey everyone, it's Breaker from AznHypeServers, and in today's video I want to show you all how you can set up Windows Firewall rules to only allow your IP or IPs to remote desktop into your server, and, and then essentially blocking all the other IP addresses from being able to RDP to your server or even attempt to RDP to the server. So starting on your server, you want to click the Start button, type in Firewall, choose Windows Firewall with Advanced Security. So you want to start here with inbound rules. You want to right click that and go to new rule. Select port, hit next. Type in your RDP port. If you're currently getting into your server via 45931, that's the port that you want to put in this box. Otherwise, put in the port that you use to RDP to the server. In most cases, it's going to be 45931. Hit next. Leave this the same. Next. Leave this the same. Next. So we're going to create two rules today. One rule is going to block everyone except for you, and the other rule is going to allow the RDP in from your IP or IPs. So this one, let's call it RDP block. Hit finish. So the next thing you want to do is right click the rule and go to properties, and first go to scope. So this is where we're going to define the ranges that should be blocked, which is pretty much everybody except for you. So you're gonna be doing this down here in the remote IP address section. So choose these IP addresses and hit add. And as you can see from this dialog, you can put single IPs, entire subnets. You can do ranges. So we're gonna do range. Let's say your IP is 1.2.3.4. So you want to start at 0.0.0.0, and that's block all the way to the IP before yours. So put 1.2.3.3 and then hit OK. So the next range you're going to be is everything after your IP. Hit add again, go to range. So 1.2.3.5, that's the IP right after yours, all the way to 255, 255, 255, 255. Hit OK. And you're done in this dialog for now. I'm not going to hit OK on this because I don't want to boot myself from the server. So you would be hitting OK on it. Or you won't get booted yet because this rule is set to allow, but we're going to be changing that in a moment. But this is what you do in this dialog. So you would hit OK. I didn't get booted from the server because this rule is actually set to allow those ranges. But the next rule you're going to create is a rule to define who's allowed to RDP into the server. So you would go to inbound rules again, new rule, port, do the same thing as before, 45931. Next. Next again, leave this the same. For this rule, call it RDP allow and hit finish. Go into RDP allow and go to properties, and then again go to scope. So you can add your single IPs in here. So you would go down to the remote IP address section again and choose these IP addresses and hit add. Then you can just type your single IPs like 1.2.3.4. I mean, our example that we've been using. If this is the only IP that you want to allow into the server to RDP, then that's fine. You're done with this dialog. So you would just put your public IP here from home or wherever you log into the server from. You add it and then just OK out of this dialog. Okay, so the last thing you want to do, we need to change this RDP block rule into effectively start blocking. So you would go here and go into properties for that rule, and then you would just choose block the connection and then hit OK. I'm not going to do that because it's going to boot me from the server, but this is what you would be doing essentially. What this means is that if you go to scope, once you change this rule to a block and OK that, all these IPs within these ranges are going to be blocked. They can't even try to guess the password to the server through RDP. So every single attempt from any IP that falls within this range is going to hit this block rule and get straight denied. And then let's say you try to RDP from home or wherever you are that has this IP address. It's going to see this rule and say, well, this IP is allowed. It's right here. It's listed in the allow rule, so it's going to permit you to log into the server. And that's pretty much the gist of it. One last thing, it's kind of self-explanatory, but you want to make sure your firewalls are turned on. So just go in here and go to Windows Firewall Properties and just go to each tab and make sure the firewall state is on. And once you've put all three of these on, just hit OK, and in fact you'll be good to go. So yeah, that was a explanation for creating firewall rules. I mean, it's a good security layer, and most people use it. So if you have any questions, please, as always, feel free to ping me on Discord, open a ticket. I'll be around 24/7, so or someone will be around to help you. Um, yeah, so let me know if you need anything. And as always, we appreciate your business and all of your patience. Thanks, and have a nice day.